stream. Welcome to my cactus live stream, Cactus Care. I brought a lot of cactus seedlings that we're discussing today. Some of the biggest here. Check it out. We have grown them on the live stream. We're starting to have an army of cacti, and once they are at that size, it gets much harder to lose them. The only thing that we need to be careful about is giving them enough space. But apart from that, yeah, we are growing a lot of cool cactus seedlings here, and I want to discuss them on the stream. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Just setting everything up again with the automated translator. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Yeah, we are discussing a few cactus seedlings later that I brought, different sizes that I want to water, that need water again. And I brought the takeaway containers where we have sown out. Hey, hello. Sometimes I have like visitors that I know personally, so I gotta greet the family. So yeah, hey. So yeah, I brought these here, and I want to go through them one by one today. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Vielen Dank for participating in my live stream. So yeah, let's get started. Let's open them up so we can just discuss a few things here and there. These are all different seedlings that we have grown over the last 3 months. So in this container, these have barely grown. This was seedlings that didn't develop fully, that just had genetically were disadvantaged a little bit. So we would see where that leads. Some of them have spines, and I actually feel like they might continue to grow long term. But for now, they are way behind, really way behind. But these are from a hybrid cross with Angelo, a multi-hybrid between Lobivia and Echinopsis. And yeah, that it's worth to wait for them. I will give them a little bit of time. I will be patient with them. They will stay in this thing for another month, I believe, and then I will take them out of this container. They would actually already be big enough, old enough to be taken out, but they just haven't grown as much. So we'll close it up and hope that next time when I'm opening this up, we will be able to remove the lid, let the seedlings grow at a natural room humidity. And then I will be spraying them all the time. As a comparison, over here I have some seedlings that have been where the lid has been removed, and I'm slowly adjusting them to that. And it's not easy in the first days. You need to do much. Yeah, every cross, they all have their speed. You know, they all have their growth speed. But right now, the moment I take them out of the bag, I already start fertilizing, and that makes a big difference. Fertilizer, good lamp. It's just the little things that eventually make a difference where they grow a little bit faster. Some of them have already been repotted a few times, and that's often eventually is good for them. Like in the beginning, when you move them in a new medium, it's a little stressful, but the moment they settle in, they have new soil, then they grow much faster. So here, yeah, these look okay. 3 weeks maybe, 3-4 weeks, and it's fast 12. Interesting hybrid, interesting multi-hybrid involving 2 different types of cacti, columnar cactus and Lobivia. So this could be great, but they need to stay in there for another month. Yeah, these look okay. I like it. Most of them green. Some of them in between where there's a little bit of variegation. Variegation meaning albino seedlings, and that often results in poor health. But most of them are green here. And this is an Isla del Sol hybrid cross. Very interesting mother that this came from, that I've shown for the first time in the last season. And I wanted to test if the seeds were viable or not. And this is pretty obvious. So yeah, I'm just glad that these came up. We'll give them time. The goal here was to have a columnar cactus with a nice big flower. These had a huge flower. I was really impressed with the size. And I feel like if we can get color into that, that would be great. Apart from that, I wanted to say the new cactus season is beginning. I will start spraying the seedlings in the greenhouses today. So there will be many videos coming up very soon again. A lot of new stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you all for sticking with the channel and the pages throughout winter. Winter is always the time when there's actually not so much to do. And we have accomplished quite a lot by growing so much within just a few months. I have a whole room full of cactus seedlings. And yeah, and now we're really starting. So these have just come up, very young cactus seedlings, not very old yet, have barely grown. I will try to give them time. This is Amun Re, a really good Trichocereus macrogonus hybrid with huge flowers. A really nice big flowering hybrid, and every seedling here has potential. Some of them also look like variegated albino seedlings, but for now, some of them are coming up and some of them are green, which I consider a huge thing. Variegation is something that I really don't try to have. If I have it, then only if the plant is also able to produce a little bit of green skin. Okay, yeah, these columnar cactus as a mother and a flower hybrid as father. A nice green color. I like the green color of these little seedlings, and they're already a little bit older. I would say 1.5 months at least. So we'll see how they continue to grow. For now, everything's great. I'm not seeing those big problems where I had to interfere. Sometimes you have to transplant many seedlings early on, and these are going great. Here's one that is upside down, like a tiny little seedling. And I will try to turn that thing around, give it contact with the soil. The roots that they are very fine. They look like hair. Maybe a very fine spider web, and I try to get that in contact with the soil. That's the only way that it has a chance. Yeah, but this is pretty good. I'm happy about that. They will stay in there for another month, and then I consider taking it out of the, like taking off the lid. For now, they are too small. Okay, move this away. Looking good. I like the green color. The one thing that sticks out with this one is how flexible the container is, and that is bad because the soil stays where it is. Every time you move that, you kind of open that gap here all around, and it's the same in every container. But it works. You can grow cactus seedlings in them. So for now, this test continues. They need to stay in there for another month. This is from a hybrid cross with Gräserserfolg and Selbstbestäubung. and the father was Amun-Re. Yeah, the goal in this particular cross was to get a maybe a columnar cactus with a ruffled flower, big ruffled flower, like the one you see on Amun-Re. But with the Gräser hybrids, you never know. A lot of them are self-fertile. I only trust it when I see the flower in front of me, and it's exactly the way I want it to be. Then I trust that they haven't self-pollinated by accident, because they do that from time to time. So in this one, yeah, this doesn't look good. There is some little sign of life, little germination here and there, but not really looking super healthy. Let me see what the seeds are. I want to look at the label. Pink stripes. Yeah, pink stripes is a classic cactus hybrid by Reinhard Liske, a German breeder. And I work with that plant quite a lot. I do many different hybrid crosses with it. And sometimes you have one that isn't super healthy. In this case, probably this one. But I see germinations. There are seedlings. So maybe long term, we will have our seedlings here. I will give it time. The one thing that you have to have when you are a cactus breeder is patience. And we will check on those again in maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now. At this point, we can't do anything else than closing it up again. The seedlings are too small to remove the lid, to do anything apart from just waiting it out to see how many of the seeds will actually continue to grow. Very often you have germination, but no healthy growth. And I sort these out. Like when I have a seedling that just germinates and doesn't really go anywhere, then I usually sort it out. Okay. And I'm always happy to take questions if you want to know something in my live streams. If not, I will just continue. I will water. We might spray a little, few containers that where you can't water with the can. I brought seeds here. Maybe we are bagging a few different types of cactus seeds. Yeah. So these are Amun-Re also. Amun-Re, every cross that I have with it has potential. It is one of the plants where you should always grow it out, even if the flower is a little bit worse than the original. It could still be great. So in this case, that I have germinations, not many. There, yeah, in this angle you can see them, but they don't really look superbly healthy. We will have to wait and see how those will develop, if they will grow or not. They might not grow. Like some of them look variegated or partially variegated. That seedling here looks variegated to me. Yeah, and here's another one. Like there's these white seedlings in between the bigger greener ones, and I have hope that the greener ones will succeed, will grow big, and eventually make us proud when we see the flower. Okay. Yeah, and here's another FAS 11 container. I really try to have a few plants that I can breed with. It's not even about that I love that particular hybrid so much. I just need a lot of different copies of it that I can use to experiment, to go into different directions. Like every year, right now, I have 1 or 2 mother plants of them. But I want to have something that is at least half as good as them, similarly good, so I can just tried 10 different types of crosses in the same year. So the fact that we have quite a lot of them coming up, it's a good thing. I often like to have 10, 20 different plants of the important cacti in my breeding, like Lubivia winteriana or Wörlitz hybrids or the ruffled Gräser hybrids, these kind of things, you know, pink stripes. I often have different plants of the same hybrid so I can save some time. And when I do 10 different crosses, sometimes only 2 or 3 take. Sometimes you only get seeds from 2 or 3. And you greatly increase your chance of success if you have a few more plants. Okay, so these were grown in a takeaway container, salad takeaway container. And here's a little seedling on the side. And this shows the problems with the takeaway container method. You often have that a seedling falls down. Sometimes when you are watering, the seeds are washing down the cracks here. And just because the takeaway containers are shaped in a way that allows them to stay flexible, this becomes a huge thing when you're growing something in it. So long term, I feel like the ones that are in the square pots, they have it a little easier. I would try to get that seedling that fell down here. I would take it out, I would try to just position it here somewhere. Apart from that, everything looks okay. Very young cactus seedlings, nothing that is older than a month maybe. These are just in the very first stage of germinating. They have just come up. So yeah, carefully moving that one seedling out of that big ravine on the side. And I'm trying to close it too, because that can happen again. The good thing with the takeaway containers is that they are transparent, so you can have a look if there's a seedling that has fallen down there. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, not seeing much here. I will spray them with water once with our new fancy water sprayer that my mom donated for the channel after the old one broke and disappointed me badly. So yeah, gotta be a little bit careful that there's not too much pressure. With the tiny cactus seedlings, you don't want to blast them. You're not trying to super soak them. Okay, this is enough. And now the soil is a little bit more flexible. And that gives me the ability to kind of fix the positions a little bit more. Like position them a little bit deeper in the soil. They need a good connection with the soil in the beginning. In the takeaway containers, it became more of a problem that the water can pool. That you can, once you put in too much water, it really comes up and leads to a total swamp kind of area here, where the seedlings just sink in. And that also hasn't been that much of an issue with the square pots. Okay, yeah, I repositioned the seedlings a little bit, just gave them that nice solid connection to the soil. I want them to be able to take in water, to take in the nutrients. And if they germinate, but they are somewhat lying sideways and the root is somewhat up, then you need to fix it. Then you need to get involved, move the seedlings. I always say that, but it's true. the more, like in nature, nobody is there to save those little seedlings that would germinate upside down. So in nature, you would lose a lot of them. But we here, we can do everything to control the environment. We can put in as much water as we want or let it dry out. So if we can help, we should do it. Here's another one of those seedlings down there. And I will try to get it out now. But this is just bad. This is really, and I haven't noticed it in the takeaway containers. It's possible that it happens, but we don't see it. But I feel like it's a bigger problem in the takeaway containers. So let's see if we can get it out. So here's one that also germinated really at the edge of glory. I will try to put it somewhere closer to the center, that it doesn't fall over. Okay, now I try to get to the other one down there. Ah, there's a big piece of wood. Once you move one thing, everything moves. Like, oh, this is bad. I need to bring a few seedlings back into the position they were before I messed around with them. Let's water a little bit. Let's make this a little bit more flexible. But this is what I'm saying. It's a problem. And if you want to take a seedling out, you can really mess things up. And if you leave it there, you have an infection that happens. It's a little bit away from the seedlings, but it's still in the container. It's not healthy for the soil quality in there. Okay. Yeah, this one I need to fix now. I really messed them all up for that one seedling. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes not. So I just try to undo everything that went wrong there. And now I try to take out a seedling that I saw that didn't survive. You always have the seedlings here and there that you lose. And in this case, it has become transparent and milky. And now I want to try to get it out. It would really help if I would find my tweezers that I have. But it's always somewhere where I don't look. So I would try to get it out with the scissor here, just trying to get that one transparent seedling out, because there's no chance that this thing will survive. Okay, check it out. The camera won't zoom, I think, but it has that unique milky appearance where you know it's gone. Glassy, like a glassy onion. Go away, glassy onion. And that tells you it's gone. If you leave it in there, if you have that rotting seedling in there, the same that I said earlier applies. You just, the quality of the soil decreases. You have pathogens in there that you wouldn't have to have. Pathogens are everywhere, but if you have them in a closed container and you have it's going over a certain amount, then it will come up over and over again. The infection will infect the seedling, then it will linger a little bit, jump to another seedling. Okay. Yeah, so in here, this looks pathetic. Yeah, they don't grow. They don't grow here. These two have been reported because they haven't grown. So they have an excuse. It's not that these were just not growing normally. Some of them were older seeds. This one here was from older seeds, and the other one was from from a seed batch that didn't have a great germination rate. So these are on borrowed time maybe. I hope that they will grow just enough that I can take them out, that I can bring them into the normal room humidity. But for now, they are not there yet. I will spray them a little with my new fancy water sprayer. Gotta appreciate the little things in life sometimes. Yeah, so apart from that, nothing we can do. They are in new soil. This is sowing soil, so it's a pretty decent soil. They will need to be in there for another month. At least that left seedling here. This one here is bigger. And I believe in maybe 2 weeks, it could be big enough to adjust them to normal humidity. But for now, it needs to stay in there a little bit longer. And the other one, I'm not sure if that will even still be there next time we check on them. Okay. I actually like growing cactus seedlings in the takeaway containers. It's fun. But yeah, it's not perfect. So these maybe 4 weeks old now. Just they have germinated. Like they usually take maybe 2 weeks to come up, to germinate. And these have already had a little bit of time to find their final position, start growing. Let me see what it is. Oh, this is Syrensia arboricola crossed with Zelly, and Pink Stripes is the father. So definitely an interesting hybrid cross. I have talked about them before, but in case the people who watch now haven't seen it, these are interesting because the mother combines two entirely different types of hybrids. Arboricola hybrid and a Zelly hybrid, and they are just a great combination. And in this case, I try to bring in color by using Pink Stripes. By being a big fan, I'm a big fan of Pink Stripes. It's one of my favorite hybrids, and here I have tried to breed it into arboricola, into that kind of plant, because arboricola, when they flower, they are full of flowers. They, like, sometimes when I film them, there are 20 flowers simultaneously on that plant. So that makes those a little bit interesting. Could be something, a great new type of hybrid, like taking arboricola and going into a new direction with it. Yeah, this one, and it's really just one. Let me see what it is. So this was a situation where the fruit was ripening in the greenhouse and ants ate the seeds. Sometimes you can have like in the greenhouse, ants can start eating up the cactus fruit while it's ripening. They carry away the seeds, and this was one of the very few seeds that was left. So in this one we have one seedling, only one seedling, but it's a good hybrid. If we can get that one plant to adulthood, that would be great. Especially since I think I lost the mother by now, so maybe we can at least get something that is identical. We will see. But for now, this is tiny, and we might completely lose it. This might not stand a chance. Not at all. We will have to see. We will have to wait and see. And yeah. Apart from that, just want to say we are coming with a new cactus season now. In the last 3 weeks, I've cleaned the area. Later today, I will post a little video where I'm talking about the stuff that's currently going on. Currently going on with the channel. This year, I will film I will do my best to film a great season. Do my best to film a lot of great time-lapse videos again. And everything starts now. Everything is gearing up, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been here, like has been pushing me along at times when I wasn't doing well, when I had personal problems, at times when life was really tough. Had a lot of people support me through those times, and I appreciate it. So this year, this summer, I want to repay the favor by filming a great season. And we're getting started now. Just saying. There will be new videos coming very soon, like in the next days. Okay. These are also the same type of hybrids that I've discussed earlier. Arboricola Ellie crossed with pink stripes. We have way too many seedlings. At some point, I might donate some. Okay? We will see. Okay. These look interesting. They're actually columnar seedlings. Nice green color. And really important to grow them. And the father was something like a flower hybrid, so it will be interesting to see how they will come up. They look very round, unusually round. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but they don't really have that kind of edgy, where you see the ribs already early on. I'm not seeing that here. That could be mutation. That could be a great thing. We will see how they will come up. Last year and the year before, I did some really interesting hybrid crosses. There were a few very good ones, and I want to grow some of them. Let's see. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I actually collect that kind of stuff. I have a lot of old Adidas trekking suit. Good old Adidas. So thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not sure why it filtered the message out. Probably because of because of the slang. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I really like that thing. This is from 1990. That pattern wasn't so widely, wasn't so common at the time. I'm glad to have it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. In this one also, healthy seedlings, it looks okay. I could see some problems in between. Like if you look very closely, you can see that some of the seedlings that have come up aren't healthy and they start to rot. At some point when you have these tiny, poorly developed seedlings, some of them will give up. Some of them have had enough. So I need to clean that up. I need to take them out before they start to rot. And I want to show you an example because it already has an orange discoloration. I'm not sure if you can see it, probably not. But this seedling has already has an orange discoloration on the root. And that tells me this is gone. Damping off, maybe fungus gnat, combination of fungus gnat and damping off. That is a fungal infection that can claim the seedlings very early on, especially if they are poorly developed. If you have one of these seedlings, yeah, they germinate. They manage to germinate, but that's about it. They often don't really have the long-term health to grow. So eventually they will fail and start contaminating the soil. So what I'm doing now is I just remove the outer shell of the seeds that have germinated from those seedlings, because they already had that one case with the orange base on the seedling that I've just earlier shown you. and that worries me enough that I want to put some work into them to avoid that there will be more problems. The seed can often get stuck on the seedling. You can get it off with a little bit of work, but you really have to do it. If you don't, the little seed, like the shell of the seed, can start to rot, getting moldy. And that's how you can really lose a whole container. It has happened so often to me. So, and since then I'm keeping an eye on it. It's not something that I do all the time because normally they should be able to get rid of that. But I just saw many cases where, because they are in a container, they are not outside where it would rain on them, where they would have morning dew collecting on it in that way. We just don't have that as much. Sometimes we spray them, like now, just a little bit of water. But it's often not enough to get rid of the shell. Okay, yeah. Apart from that, I really don't like that orange discoloration that I've seen there. It already tells me something wasn't perfect. Normally, the seedlings should just continue to grow. It can happen that one of those barely livable, barely alive seedlings came up and just expired. But sometimes you have a reason that it expires. Sometimes you have fungus gnats, even drought can be the reason. Damping off unclean seeds where the seeds had some sort of a contamination. And we will have to wait and see what will happen here. I will take this one out too. Little white seedling. Not seeing a lot of potential there. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, these are good to go back into the bag, into the container. Closing the lid up again. Yeah, okay, and that's it for the containers now. We will have to see how these will develop long term. I like working with containers, with takeaway containers. It's a method that I originally, like when I got started, I helped make popular. Like a lot of people at the time didn't know it. When I got started, I wasn't the first to do that because there were always people who already used mason jars to sow out. And this is basically the same thing. But I was one that really liked working with it, and I've pushed it a little. And now today, with half a life in between, I can say that today I like the actual pots that we're working with now. I like them more. There's the pot, and they have a bag around it that you can remove when it's time to take them out. Then you already have them in a square pot with holes in the bottom, and these all need to be singled out, transplanted. You wouldn't even be able to water them the same way you would be able to water those, because every little bit of water that's too much will pool in this thing, and that's not good for the cactus root. You don't want to have that pool, that swamp. So, okay, I want to get started with watering. I brought a few that I want to discuss. So in this one, bone dry, and just from yesterday. So they need water again. Apart from that, they are growing, most of them. Some of them a little bit smaller, but they are growing. So let me bring this here, just to have something to catch up the water. And then I will start spraying them. Oh, it feels so great to have a water sprayer again. Okay. Yeah, the one thing that stuck out here is that they are too deep in the pot. This is not good. When you pot so deep, basically it happened that when I filled up the soil, it wasn't completely full, but it wasn't this empty. You just lose some addition. You lose soil every time you water. Every time you water, a little bit of soil washes out at the bottom, and yeah, at some point you're going down. Some point the seedlings are too far down and don't get enough light and have too much humidity around them. I like when the seedlings are like this, way up. You can actually look at everything from all sides. You see what's going on. You see when there's a problem. And when with this one, you only see what's happening at the top. But below, who knows? Yeah, and these need to be sprayed a few more times today again. Same here. Bone dry soil. It's just that inside, under a plant lamp, you would be surprised how fast the water is disappearing. It's just you are spraying them or you're watering them with a can, and an hour later, it's relatively dry again. So yeah, let's spray them. And then we'll see. These are partially variegated, by the way. And that makes it interesting. Variegation, I hate it when it's just pure variegation. But if a plant actually can survive on the root, on the own root, and is a little bit variegated, that could be great. I like that. And the fact that they are still here tells me that they must be able to have some sort of chlorophyll production mechanism that might still be intact, even if it's just a little bit. Sometimes when they are halfway variegated, they are a little bit impaired, but it's not so bad. They can live with it. So yeah, and these look like that. Could be interesting. Here's a seedling down there that's lying upside, like on the side. I want to fix that. These are good seedlings, and I do not want them to, like, I don't want to be at fault for losing one of them by not doing everything to give the seedlings that good connection with the soil. And with this kind of stuff, you sometimes have to course correct, move them a little. Every time you're watering, something changes in the pot, and that just means you will have to do it again later, and that is okay. Okay, these here, this is a good example of seedlings that I would have loved to keep in the bag. And since I haven't, by the way, I'm not sure if the people here have seen when I have them in the bag. Like, sometimes when people just find the stream randomly, this is what I use here. And they are in this within the first 2 months, 2 or 3 months. And I try to leave them in until they have reached a size where it's safe to take them out. Really safe. And these are too small. Not really seeing that here, but I had to take them out because there was a problem with fungus gnats and they needed to dry out. The soil needed to dry out, but they are actually too small. So now I need to spray them more often and compensate for that. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Great to have you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Yeah, just playing around with my new water sprayer. And it's great. This is perfect. I love that. I miss that. You know, it's just, it's different when you can sit there in the live stream and, you know, it has class. I like it. So yeah, apart from that, I have a lot of seedlings today that need to be watered, mostly watered, because yesterday I was putting so much work in the greenhouses, getting ready for the new season. I brought the heaters out of the greenhouse today. Now I only have one heater in the last greenhouse, and I will take that out today too. So we are starting outside, and that also means I'm out with the animals, that kind of stuff. So the seedlings inside had a little less time yesterday, and today I need to make up for it again. So yeah, right now I'm just trying to reposition the seedlings here. I'm making sure they have a good solid connection. I will spray them again now. And when they have this kind of size, I'm basically spraying them all the time. If you see them getting worse, deteriorating, decreasing in quality, you know, looking bad, then I would rather spray them more often than less. Very often, with seedlings this small, they just need a lot of water. Yeah, we had, like yesterday, it was a beautiful day here. Beautiful blue sky. And Kami wanted to stay out all day long. Yesterday, I was so exhausted. Because I try to always, when Kami and Mika want to go out, I go with them. And the better the weather, the more likely it is that they want to go out all the time. So I try to, you know, and yesterday evening, I think it was like 6, we still had sun or a bright day around 6 o'clock in the PM, you know. So yeah, so it was a long day yesterday, but great weather, great fun. We are getting started with the season again. I can't believe it. I completely forgot how it is. When you're a cactus breeder and you're going in the winter, it's a totally different life. It's like you're locked in the house for 6 months or something like that. So it's always a great feeling when you finally see that all that cactus life coming back into your life. Then you realize how much you have missed it. So yeah, want to spray them again. The soil is just so dry that it sinks in so fast. I believe it has enough water now. So now I just want to position the seedlings correctly, give them everything it needs, give them a solid connection to the soil. I want them to be straight, not touching too much of the soil, because that can give them a bad infection. Like the soil is full of pathogens, and you don't want the seedlings lying in there. Don't want them to get too used to that. So yeah, apart from that, yeah, this is okay. They will go back and need more water today. They have a rather yellowish kind of skin color. Probably variegation. What is it? This is an intergeneric hybrid between a columnar mother and a flower hybrid as a father. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how they will develop genetically, like long term, how the health is. We'll try to spray them more often today. Okay. Yeah, so these, I wanted that soil to dry out, and I'm happy. Now it's time to give them more water again. I have repotted a few seedlings into the new soil, into this soil. And it always takes a while until they have gotten used to it, until the soil settles. Like I said, you always, when you start watering, it always sinks down. A little bit of it washes out, but in the beginning, it's not so bad. It takes a while. Yeah. By the way, this is also a seedling that I just saw. This is really tiny, and actually not big enough to be taken out of humidity. So I'm not sure what we will do here. This looks variegated. This looks really white. I consider still leaving it out because this seedling here might not have long-term viable future. So I will water them now. Another time. Also, because that little seedling there might need a little bit more water. And then they will go back to the lamp. Over there I saw a few seedlings that really need help. Hey, good morning, Robert. Welcome to the live stream. Thank you for joining. How's it going? I hope you had a great time. We are moving towards the weekend again. We have very soon. We have it. We made it almost. Not long anymore. So in this container, this has been a problem child because I had to take them out too early. And now I have to spray them very often, but the soil dries out faster than what the little seedlings here can take. So they need water now, and quite a lot of it. I will try to spray them and give them a little bit more that they have time to take it in. But everything's gearing up again for the new season, Robert. We're starting to film again today. There will be more videos coming soon. I also posted, I recorded a personal video that I would post later. I just didn't get to it earlier. Yeah, and then later today, I would spray a few seedlings. I would clean up, removing seedlings, that kind of stuff. So I'm just trying to get the seedlings into the soil, and that is already difficult. These seedlings here, they have problems. They have problems with the root. Something isn't working here. They are just too young. For one, they should be in the container, but since they had problems with the root, with the fungus gnat infestation, with the fungus gnat pestilence that we had, they had issues. So we might lose a few of them, actually. Trying to do my best to save them, but some of them are not looking so great. Trying to pot them up rather deep, that they can't fall over, and that the fungus gnats don't get to that base, to that sensitive base. But yeah, a lot of them don't look good here. I don't like that. It's not good. The fact that I had to pot them up so deep is not speaking for them. There's something wrong with the root. We would see. For now, they should be in the container. I should actually have the lid on. But if we do that, fungus gnats are having a party in there. Something fell over, but I'm not sure which. Here's a seedling that I'm taking out. Everything that falls over is already a disappointment, and often means they have no healthy root anymore. So yeah, we would see. Maybe I will water that again later. Yeah, welcome to the Fungus Gnat channel, everyone. They would stay with us until the end. Okay, so these here, these are okay. They're growing. The one thing that's always, when you have them in these takeaway containers, they are too deep. Not really. You have a hard time seeing what's going on there. Like when I put this thing in front of the camera, they are always there. They will never be fully gone. but they are usually not in everything that's closed up, that is still in humidity. But they're when I'm opening them up, it can always happen that one of them gets in, and then it's fair game again. They have access to the bigger plants, like when they are out like this, and they have a hard time like being a huge issue because I let the soil dry out so often. But they're still there, like I don't think you can completely eradicate them. I have a ventilator that just messes with them, that just keeps them from flying on the soil, and that really makes a difference. But yeah, I don't really have a lot of hope that they will go away unless we start having any soil in the house. And because even if we get rid of them, it's so easy to have them back. They are just tiny, How do you want to make sure that in a house you don't have one of those or two? Somehow they always find their way back. So, but not in the soil. That is the huge difference, like in the beginning, the huge issues that we had, they were already in the soil. And of course, that gives you a bad time, a bad disadvantage, because every time at the time you have healthy seedlings, you also have the fungus gnat now. So yeah. But everything you see that the ones that are out of the bag, out of the containers, they don't mind. It's usually just a water management problem, and you can't really, like when it's closed, you can't really avoid. You can't really take that humidity away in the beginning when they are too young. Okay, yeah, let's spray again. Soil has soaked a little, but not enough. I need more. I need it all. So trying to get the seedlings a little bit corrected, just making sure that nothing is lying around too close to the soil. And yeah, this is okay. Seedlings are healthy. They just need to, they're a little stressed. They need more water. Uwe Carlos seedlings. Okay. Here's another one. Yellowish in color, despite fertilizer. Probably variegation. Born to be wild sister. Yeah, they looked from the beginning, they had a unique kind of color, and also a little bit unique body. So I'm spraying them, giving it a little bit time to soak in. This will take a while. Yeah, apart from that, just I was just checking on the roots, and I feel like it's okay. Not seeing any obvious problems, not seeing unhealthy seedlings in between. So I can just put that thing back. It will get water on a regular basis. It will get fertilizer on a regular basis. And then in a few months, maybe we can move them outside. We will see. I don't want to have a timeline, a firm timeline. We will take time for as long as we need, as long as it takes. Nothing will leave this place, this workspace, before it's big enough to survive in the greenhouse. Because in the past, that is something that I always, where sometimes put seedlings into the greenhouse a little too early. And for the future, that is the thing that I really want to, I completely changed the way I grow seedlings now. I really want to have them all. Like when I grow them, when we're growing them here, when we have the seedling, I want them to succeed, to get big. Okay, so this one I need to take out. This has a root problem. This one has a root problem. Important to let the soil dry out here. Apart from that, variegation that I see. Two seedlings that are variegated or partially variegated at the very least. One it's lying there somewhere. And I'm just in the process of potting that one, like giving it soil, moving it into the soil. Okay. So let's spray them again to let the soil settle a little bit. And that also makes it easier with the other seedlings. So, okay. Yeah. This is acceptable. Check it out. And I really got to say it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have a million seedlings. One or two are enough. I really believe that you try to make it perfect keeps you from having great results, because perfection isn't really a thing. And I always like something that happens with me. I often, when I film, I do a great video, I film great stuff, and suddenly something happens that I do not like. And it completely throws me off the video and I delete it. That is a way where perfection stands in the way of having really good results, because there's always that one thing that isn't going perfectly. Sometimes the seedlings are stressed, sometimes they take long, you might have to graft them, but eventually just doing stuff doesn't have to be perfect. You can lose seedlings here and there, but just doing it is so rewarding, is so important, and eventually will get you where you want to be. Perfection is not reached by doing everything perfect instantly. You get better at it. You just like you see the seedlings doing better and better depending on what you do, and that is more important than doing it perfect. So yeah, a little bit more water and this will go back. I like how the seedlings look here. This is Pseudolobivia hybrid, and the mother was 18A2000. These are the type of plants that I really want to keep an eye out for, like have them inside, watch out for them like a hawk. Because in the past I had these amazing hybrids, then I put them in the greenhouse and they were getting roasted, or they were getting a slug was eating them, and I don't want to have that anymore. So yeah, in this case, yeah, too dry. This soil just dries out so fast. So we will water, spray a lot, few times, maybe correct a few seedlings here and there. But most of them look all right for that. They are not great. They could already be bigger if they had gotten twice as much water. But then we would have lost more seedlings due to fungus gnads. What I'm doing here, we are finding a middle ground in between watering too much and not watering enough. Like that middle ground, that sweet spot in the middle, that is so important for cacti and also for a lot of other seedlings. So that is where we're aiming to be at. So very often when I come here with seedlings, they will be dry, because I need that drying out in between. And I don't want them to stay dry for days. Just hours is often enough. Okay, a little bit more water. There are some very spiny seedlings in that thing. One or two that look horrible. But yeah, they might still develop. I don't think so. Like here's one little seedling. No, here, down there. That Looks poorly developed, but maybe it can recover. I don't want to sort it out too early. Here's the seedling in the corner that is lying there, that I'm lifting up a little. I'm taking it out of that dark spot there, because when you don't see a seedling, you often tend not to water it. So make sure that if you have little seedlings in an outer corner of the pot, make sure that you actually see them when you water, and you water those spots too. Okay. Yeah. Lobivia Zecheri crossed with Sörensia candicans. This is nice. This has a, I think it has a pink stigma, but I need to look at it, like the mother. I need to look at it. Okay. Also very dry. Like I said, it's not easy to walk that fine line between watering so much that the seedlings are thriving and also avoiding the problems with the fungus gnats. Having the soil dry out for 1 hour or 2 is already enough for me. And I really try not to overdo it, especially when you have them under a plant lamp. They will need a lot of water just from evaporation, like condensation of water that disappears under the lamp. It happens very fast. Apart from that, they look okay-ish. Need to be bigger, they need more water. Arboricola crossed with with colorful is something that I wrote. I first thought it was Bamboy, but yeah, colorful father. Okay. Yeah, here's another candidate for singling out. We will be doing that very soon. We'll see how far we get today. I will spray them a little now. And I'm making sure that the water really gets to all the seedlings. When you have so many, so easy to only water at certain part always. You know, the ones that look the best often get the most water, ironically. So making sure you get all of them. Same here. And then we will take a closer look at them. Because I don't like that seedling lying there. I hate to see that. I want to look at the root. Want to look at what's the issue here, you know? It looks okay. Base looks okay. And the color stands out. Yellowish in color. But it has these green undertones now. Yeah, this is just interesting in a genetic sense. Like from a breeder's point of view, I can't wait to see how these will grow up. Like, will they be variegated? It seems to be a unique growth. I'm really looking forward to seeing these. Apart from that, all good. That one seedling keeps falling over. Over here we have 2 seedlings. Maybe I can correct the position a little bit to get them a little deeper into the soil. Yeah, okay. Maybe watering one more time and then I move on. I like them. Columnar cactus vibes getting from them. Columnar cactus, yeah. Columnar mother. Trichocereus as a mother. And flower hybrid as father. So let's water them. And there are some small seedlings at the bottom there that look totally different, that have a that could be monstrous, because they are so behind. There must be a reason for it at that point. Sometimes when you have single seedlings that develop totally differently, they could have some sort of mutation, monstrosity, crested growth, that kind of stuff. So yeah, apart from that, they look great. I'm also happy about about how healthy the small seedlings here look. They are small, but they are not weak, really weak. And that's a good sign. I already watered these. Okay. Also getting to a point where we might be singling out okay. Uwe Kahle seedlings. Yeah, there are a lot of Uwe Kahle hybrids on the channel. He's just a great breeder, and I'm not sure if he will continue to breed for many years. Like last year, he almost stopped already when he had immense problems with walking. And I'm just glad that he's still here, that he's still able to make crosses, and I will grow them if I can, because I know what we're growing here. This will push the quality in the greenhouse by tenfold. So this is really, we're on a good path here. Yeah, they look okay. Check out the green here. This like LJ, maybe LJ moss, something like that on this part here. And that was the reason I took it out. They were a little bit smaller when I took them out of the bag, but you can't really see that they're doing poorly. They have developed nicely, have spines. This is okay. Let's see what it is. Dessau. Yeah, Dessau hybrid by Hartmut Kellner, German breeder. And Dessau being a German city in the east, like an East German city. Yeah, and hybrid, Pseudolobivia hybrid is what I would describe it. Multi-hybrid, you could call it multi-hybrid, but yeah, Pseudolobivia. And one of the parents of Wörlitz. Wörlitz, one of the greatest hybrids ever. Not for the quality of the flower, but for the usefulness. It is incredibly useful, and that it's one of those hybrids that where you have 1,000 amazing hybrids from it. And if you just look at it, like at Dessau, you wouldn't think that it's that good, passing down good genetics, you know? Here's another one where we have mixed seedlings. See this one down there? Then normal growth. Here, back there, we have a few unusual seedlings that are just totally different, you know, that are way behind. And that must have a reason. Usually it has. Sometimes when the seedlings germinate and something damages the active growth, the tip, then they kind of terminate and pop later. Like it kind of scars over and pops again. And that could be something like that something happened. But the way they look, they are very unique. I actually rather believe these are monstrose. Monstrose meaning a certain type of mutation where they tend to be spineless. Really interesting. They look a little bit like a cucumber, and we will see. I like those interesting cultivars that you can that are just so different, so unique that it deserves a name also in that case, you know. So many plants today on the market are not deserving of a name, and this is the type of stuff that I that deserves it. Bone dry, really bone dry, but the seedlings look okay. But they need water now. When the soil dries out like this, it's not so good because it compacts together, it bricks, and yeah, I'm sure the roots have a hard time growing in that when the soil is so hardened up. Usually it's better to never let soil dry out excessively. And once that happened, you sometimes have to put it in a bucket, let it soak a little. Just make sure there are no insects in there that are living in a pot. Every time if I would take cacti out of a pot, I have little insects there, and I always try to when I'm soaking the roots, I always make sure nothing is in there. But sometimes you need to do it. Sometimes you need to soak the roots. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, these look good. We'll go back under the lamp. I'm constantly switching them around so they never have that fixed space, that fixed spot where they are always. I always try. We have so many seedlings that I try to rotate around with the seedlings. Sometimes these get a good spot under the lamp, sometimes the others, and I try to keep it fair. But yeah, they will go under that lamp again now. So in this one, seedlings are a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. Still at a point where we might lose them. They are not through the worst yet, but we're getting close. They are almost at the size where they can survive, when you can relax a little. The very first 2 or 3 months are the most dangerous ones in my opinion, and then later on, after you have, when sometimes people grow something amazing and it's bigger, and then it's time to overwinter them, to kind of adjust them to the new environment in the greenhouse, for example, and then they kind of either give it a bad spot or lose view of it. That is something that has happened with me a lot in the past, and I try to be active about it to prevent it from happening. So yeah, when you're growing something where you spend so many years growing it, make sure you actually, when you give it a final space, you give it a good pot, you make sure that whatever that plant will experience throughout the winter, it will survive. Okay. They need to stay a little longer in this pot here. They are not growing so fast in this case. We'll try to give them time. Also Uwe Kahle hybrid cross, and they're usually worth it. Okay. These are actually dehydrated. So let's have a look at these would be twice as big if they had gotten more water. And being so crowded makes things worse. So singling them out will be an issue, like has to be done soon. Also that they get more water. Just as a comparison, this is an extreme comparison, but it shows you what kind of size they could have. So I would spray them now, and they will need more water. And long term, we will have to split this up at least into 2 pots. Dehydration isn't that huge deal breaker. It isn't that huge thing where you really feel like, okay, this is going down. You know, this is not. They are on the way out. It's not, but it tells you a little bit about what you need to change, where you need to adjust, which containers you need to water more in the future. You can always react to it. The seedlings always kind of indicate when they need water. It is just sometimes we misread what we see, because overwatering and underwatering both can look pretty similar with something like this. So you really have to know how to read the way they develop, like the way the body develops, the way the little seedlings turn out over time. These could also use a little bit more water. The one thing how I always explain dehydration in a cactus seedling is the more dehydrated they are, the spinier they get. They put up these excessive spines to shield from too much heat, because they can't really take in enough water in that time. And in combination with a strong lamp, dehydration happens fast. So the spines get longer and the body gets a little smaller, just a little. And if you know how that look, if you know that look, then you can just spray them more often. Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing these seedlings when they are finally flowering, when they're big enough. It's one thing to grow cactus seedlings that never really get anywhere, but it's another to sit here and, we're growing the next seasons, the next flower seasons here. And it's fun to look at it like that. You look at the seedlings, you look at the labels, and it will be fun to see them out. I greatly enjoy that part of the hobby, being able to grow something new, a new generation. Every year is a little bit different, and later on when they flower, that keeps it interesting, that keeps it unpredictable, and I enjoy that about the hobby. Okay, yeah, I'm almost done with the watering. I think it will come out at 1.5 hours of the stream. It's usually the time frame that I have. Always happy to take more questions if you like. If not, I will water the seedlings here, these two, and then yeah, we'll see. Okay, so these need more water. They are pretty small. At that size, you need to be a little bit more careful about dehydration. They don't have a lot of room for error. Okay. Yeah, and these here, also Uvekale. I transplanted them into a new pot, and here we need to do something. I saw a seedling roll around. These are not looking good, so they need more water. I want to spray these a few times today, because I see what I see here is dehydration. In combination, like when you're potting seedlings, sometimes you're not. They are just different. They have a different position than the last time they were in the other pot. So in the beginning, you can have that bad kind of dehydration that they don't survive. And I have to make sure here that they do. So I would change the position of the seedlings of a few of them, making sure they have they really have connection with the soil. I don't want to have halfway lying seedlings anymore. Okay. All right, a little bit more water, always giving visibility. Okay. Yeah, just looking good. They need more water. These are really at a spot where I am fighting against dehydration and fungus gnat, because this is the size where fungus gnat can really hurt. And there was a reason I took them out of the bag. They are only out because because they had issues with fungus gnat. So now I need to water them in a way that doesn't allow the fungus gnats to come back, but like keeps them alive. And it's not easy. I need to spray them twice today, probably. I don't want to do it more than twice, because then you're already in the territory where the fungus gnats say thank you. Okay. Yeah, this is good. I think I have all of those watered. This one here needs a little bit more. Okay. When I'm done with this, we will discuss the next few days, what I want to do. And then I will go out of the stream. Then I will end the stream. But again, the next couple of weeks, I will already start preparing the new season. They will get watered quite a lot. I will water cactus seedlings. I will start fertilizing the weakest plants in my collection. Every time I see a plant that looks dehydrated or that needs fertilizer, they will get fertilizer first. Now I have the water sprayer. Water sprayer is full of fertilizer now, and I will film it. So there will be more videos coming this week. And yeah, we'll see what we do. A lot of videos coming up again. So thank you for being here. Thank you for participating in my stream all the time. And yeah, it will be a great year. I will make sure of that. So thank you guys for having been here today. It's always a privilege to be able to do that, to share that time with people, and I appreciate it. So thank you guys. I hope you have a great day, everyone. We are not far away from the weekend. We have almost made it. So don't give up, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day. Thank you for being here, everyone. Thank you. Until tomorrow. Same time.